I know a lot of people also want to learn about sealing the deal, that final step, when you have the reassurance of knowing, oh, we're back together. And I'm often asked about, should I ask? Should I, the signs seem good. He or she seem a lot more receptive. Do you talk about it? How do you know that you're there?
I mean, maybe because they just go through the philosophy of Coach Adrian, but my clients, the people that I coach, they don't have to ask themselves this question. They know they are back together. Okay. That's the difference between you. No, I'm joking. So basically, I think it's a situation that people will experience, right? But when it comes to, I don't like to have the talk. For me, it's not a good idea. It's not a good idea because it's pressure, because it will raise questions that are not here yet at the moment. But I love some tools of communication, and I love the idea to value the connection. So I will tell my clients, it's better for you to say, I love our connection. It's so good to connect with you again. Or it's so good to see that time flies when we are together. That's enough to basically plant the seed and let the other person reborn on it and give the reassurance that we are back together. But back together with a new book, not even a new page, a new book. Right. That is very important. But yes, all of my clients, they know that they are back together. It's better.
Sometimes people are in limbo, especially when they're sleeping together, for example, or when they just get impatient and a little bit needy and need that validation and that reassurance. And that's when those questions usually come up. But I do agree that having the talk usually people they feel like there's the need for that, when in reality, there is no need for that.
Yeah, I do agree with that.
So are there other elements of attraction and how that process plays out that you feel would be beneficial to our listeners to hear about? Or are you ready for a more personal question?
No, I think it's like first, before to go to the more personal question that you're so proud of yourself to come up with this idea, I have to say that this podcast, the last question is from Coach Adrian, and he knows that, and he's so proud of his invention. So, when we talk about attraction, I'm a big believer in techniques. So you won't like this, but that's okay, right? It's the push and pull technique.
Yeah.
You don't.
It's in the master course. I talk about the push and pull in your honor, because I have collaborated with the best. I talk about the push and pull in the master course. But go ahead.
It's good to have different vision. It's good to have different advice. And it's
different
all
tools,
for you
right?
guys. So when you listen to us, you can pick the one you want and you can leave the one you don't want. Okay. So if you want a painful, long process and you have to talk to your ex at the end, you go with Coach Adrian. If you want something short, positive, and amazing, you just come to me. It's natural. It's like the choice you have to make. Okay. Let's be serious for a moment. I think that most of the people, there is a moment where the feelings can also come up and be too strong. And using some techniques will help them control those emotions. So the push and pull is very simple. And I would just repeat what I've just said. The push and pull is sometimes you can reach out to your ex, you can connect with them. The idea is that when you do this, try to raise your value, to talk about what did you do that makes your life good. Because you're so focused on the ex that you want to ask questions, you want to focus on them, but you don't talk about yourself. They don't see that you have changed. That's number one. Number two, I see you're smiling. You want to just interrupt me?
I disagree, but we don't have necessarily the space and the time for me to. So no, please go ahead.
No, sounds good. Number two, when we do the push and pull, the idea is that sometimes we connect. Most of the time it is to do new activities. I want them to feel the idea that they can create new activities. And if your ex refuse, you need to do it with someone else. Not to make them jealous, but just the idea is it's not because they say no that you cannot experience your life. And I feel that this is how you make someone fear of losing the new you. It's when they see that with or without them, you're living with purpose. That's the push and pull in a nutshell.
Beautiful.